You are up, Commissioner.
All right, Bannock County Commissioners are now in session. The first item on our agenda is the Board of Commissioners report, invoices, credit applications, and there is an ambulance invoice, but we're making them with all the invoices. It's just the commissioners okay them all, so we're not separating out.
Good, saves us a nasty motion.
We did have, just for clarification on that one, usually in October we make 2 payments so that we're paying a month ahead. And that was about the time we had transition of a new accounts payable employee. She missed that. So that's what that catch up is for, is so that we're now paying ahead.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the invoices and reports as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And this one says to hold for Ashley.
Oh, when the check is cut, they want us to hold the check for Ashley.
Okay.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right. Next we have salary rate approval forms.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the salary approval forms as presented.
Have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. We have certificate of residency.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the certificate of residency.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
And then we have the payroll report.
Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the payroll report.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
Feel a little spicy today, just saying.
All right, Al, you're up.
Good morning, Commissioner. Hal Jensen, Planning Director, Bannock County. Justin Borkwin, Assistant Director, is with me today. You have in front of you a request from the City of Pocatello, specifically discussing and asking a letter of support from the Commission to the City for the development of a parking lot, boat dock, etc., as they continue to expand the Greenway Trail as well as access to riverfront for recreation on the Portneuf, etc. It is a piece of property that I came to you previously with. It's the old right-of-way of the old state highway from back in the day out towards FMC. We were in basically a previous discussion about a number of properties that have more value and more interest to the City of Pocatello versus the county, and this was one of those pieces. However, we have not moved on deeding that to the city, so in my conversations with Hannah Sanger, she has basically asked for a letter of support. They're chasing a grant, and that's what the letter of support is basically supporting.
And this is out on the north end of Pocatello, out by
It's on the west side towards Simplot,
towards Simplot,
along the river. Just
by a Brandon Bridge, or
yes.
just on the other side of that bridge, or on the
It's a little bit further west, I believe.
Okay. Okay, because at the PDA we're doing a big project out there to put in an overpass over the railroad to give more access to...
Further west.
It's further west than that?
Further
Okay.
west.
Okay. All right. I'm good with that then.
Okay.
Anything?
Yeah, I'd just soon give all that ground to the city. I mean, plain and simple. I'd just soon give that ground to the city.
Okay, one of my follow-up questions, seeking direction on, shall we pursue further? And I believe we have deeds. We could probably just deed the property owner and make it very simple. We'll do some internal review, and if it changes, I will let you know. But if not, we'll just come to you at a work session showing all of the items that need to take place, and then we can get those properties deeded over.
Yeah,
No reason for it to be county,
agreed.
my opinion.
Agreed. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the support letter for the city of Pocatello as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Easy enough.
Will you make a copy of that?
Yeah, but I can,
Will you call Hannah, and she'll probably just come over and pick it up, unless you would like me to hand deliver?
no, I can carry that for you.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Parker, you're up. Here's your opportunity.
Dan Kimmel, Facilities Director. Parker Blood, Maintenance Technician. So we're here today seeking permission to recycle. I think there's 53 filing cabinets in the basement of the annex that belong to the old public defenders. And so yeah, we're asking permission to be able to recycle them.
You don't have 53 listed on here.
They're not all 53 have those numbers on them. Only a couple did.
49,
A lot of them were unlisted though.
51,
Right. It was a
50,
test.
53.
It was a test for Parker. I was trying to make him sweat just a little bit. Thanks, Commissioner.
Go ahead, interrogate.
No, it's over now. I lost the element of surprise.
told them to be ready.
I have no questions. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the disposal of assets as presented.
We have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 Thank you. Are you?
Good luck with that. All right, Shanda.
Good morning, Commissioner. Shanda Crystal, Chief Procurement Officer. I have 3 items before the board today. The first one is I'm requesting your signature on an Idaho Federal Surplus Property Utilization Questionnaire. This is a utilization form for the event center tractor that we purchased last year. And this is part of their requirements. They just would like to verify, right, that that tractor is in use, that we're using it the way that it was intended to use, and the location that it is in use. And all those things comply, and they would just like your signature, and they'll keep that on file. I can't remember the dates, but if we keep it for X number of months in use the way that they would like, then they turn title over to us. But we'll follow up on that when I submit this, and we'll work towards getting that.
We like when we get titles.
Right? We do indeed. It's a hobby of ours.
Keep me posted on that.
Okay.
So I know.
Okay. Yes.
So is it anticipated that we could get the title this year, or is
No,
the usage longer than that?
5 years is sticking in my head, but I have not confirmed that. But there is a time frame that we need to keep it in use. But that can date back right to the property was placed into use on March 15th is what Scott was confirming. So the date will start to confirm then.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve and sign the surplus questionnaire as presented.
Have a motion, all in favor say aye.
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 So I was just making notes. The second item I have before the board is a request for a signature on a change order with CM Company in regards to the 6th Street renovation. This change order has included in it the added cost for the cold weather concrete additives, the credit for the ribbon curb and valley gutters, the additional curb and sidewalk that we replaced at Clark Street, and the removal of concrete near the courthouse that was in disrepair, and they replaced it with asphalt. And they also added a protection bollard at the corner of the building as well. Those total together, the change order comes to the amount of $2,882. I would recommend that the board sign the change order, number 4, with CM Company for that amount.
Questions?
No, I just like tiny change orders. That's good. Mr. Chair, I move that we approve change order number 4 as presented.
We have a motion. All in favor, say aye.
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 So we had a rough estimate for change orders at about 100,000. This would bring our current total to 63,875. So we're in good position as the project gets ready to close up. I do anticipate at least one more, and that is for the changes that we talked about earlier on about that security had to the internal parts of the building. So at least that one. So we're not quite done, but as we wrap up, I think we're in a good place to come in under budget.
Do we have a time frame for the completion of the exterior?
There are a couple of things that we are trying to coordinate there. One of them is we did get the metal. The metal is on site and being worked. Our architect, Ted Booth, reviewed it before we signed that last pay order that you saw on your commissioner's report today. He's impressed with the metal. He likes what they're doing with it. So that's at least here, and that will get installed. Once CM Company is done, I did speak with Dan. We do have some internal things that we need to run, right? IT needs to run different wires and stuff to be able to get that entrance up and running. The other piece of that is that when the board approved the metal detectors, we would really love to have a metal detector here, and instead of installing the old one, ripping out the old one, installing the new one. So we're trying to coordinate that with M2 right now and get a date. Currently, they gave me April. I'm going to try to ask if I can have just one for that entrance, so we can get that entrance going. But that's in the works, is trying to get that coordination of those materials to be able to open it.
Dan has talked to Tony, and Shan has talked to me. Even if it's a month, there's no reason to put the old system in there and pull it back out and put the new one in. So we're going to work somehow, whether we stay with the system we're at, whether they go down there with wands or whatever, something. But there's just no reason to put that old system in and then a month later put the new one in.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. That's fine.
I do need to talk to Emma. We want to make it as seamless as possible for the public as well, right? If we open that entrance and then, right, again, a month later, close it down again, the confusion that it could cause. So I just wanted to touch base with Emma also. And then in addition to those metal detectors, as we do get a firm date, we will need to work with security to have rolling closures, right? As we get one installed, they'll need to roll to the next door, close that door, get it installed. And we'll need to work on a time frame about how each one of those, how long they're going to take to install them, and then get a working process, right? Again, with Emma putting that information out to make it hopefully as seamless as possible, again, as those different entrances close and get the new equipment installed.
But as soon as we can open up the parking lot and stuff like that, so we have the entrances into the other departments, we'll work on that too. And we can do that even keeping this one closed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got to be close to that, aren't we? The parking lot and everything ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
The parking lot and everything it's just the entrance. It's still a construction site. And so until they take it out of a construction site. I was over at the elections the other day, and they'd left just the gate open a little bit, and cars were coming in and turning around, going back out. I mean, they was ready to use that
The public's
as a roadway already.
Okay, but I can follow up with CM Company and see if we can't get an estimated time frame of when we can have that road open and those other entrances accessible.
Yeah.
We may end up having to put speed bumps in there like we have over at the event center, wellness complex. So one car I saw was going pretty quick. Had to make a quick turnaround.
We'll be grateful when we get it used. Okay. The third item I have before the board is a procurement update. Before I review the dashboard with the board, I just wanted to follow up on two things. One thing is my next project is going to be a policy review for procurement. ARPA added a lot of interesting projects that Bannock County hadn't dealt with before. So it was a great time to use our policies and procedures against things that we had never done before. We just put on paper, and we found ways that we can do things better, things different. So we'll dive into that review, pulling in risk management and auditing to be able to, our new legal counsel, to be able to get the best policy going forward. But ARPA has been shown an interesting light on our policies and stuff that we can just do better and be able to educate both the public and our internal folks as well. So that will be a project rolling forward. And the second item is I have been approved as a candidate to sit for the NIGP Certified Procurement Professional exam. I believe the next testing window that's available to me is in May. So I'll go ahead and get that applied for and sit for that exam. To review the dashboard that we've got going on, we've got a couple projects in play. The two that are open right now, if we'll drop down to the Public Works for the Bolton County fuel bid. That was published last Saturday, and it will post again on the 11th on that project. We've already received some questions on that from a company that hasn't been involved before. So we're excited that our net is getting a little wider every time, and we do believe that our current provider is also interested as well. So we're excited for that one to roll forward.
Shanda, on that one, are we looking to deliver to one spot or to 2 or 3 different locations?
We have 4.
Or 4 locations, yeah,
Right,
4.
Mocaman, Landfill, Event Center, and
Yeah.
Bridge are the 4 different places we're delivering to.
Okay.
And Valley Oil is going under new ownership.
Oh, okay.
Found that out at the fair board.
Okay, I will follow up because we invited them to participate, but it's the old email that I've had on file. So I'll follow up and make sure that that got to where it needed to go as well. Switching gears to the detention center diesel generator, we held our first mandatory pre-bid meeting this week. We had 3 companies attend that, and it went well. Their second mandatory pre-bid will be next Thursday. And again, trying to let everybody know that they don't have to attend both, but they do have to attend one of them in order to put in a successful bid for us. So that project's moving along as well. And, we already did the metal detectors. That was my other one, just letting you guys know where we were on that. And I am hoping by next week to have a more firm date of when we might be able to start seeing those metal detectors. And again, as they make the plan for the rolling closures between the different entrances to the courthouse.
Your top one up there. Drug testing. Where's it? What's going on?
That one, Jason Dye was meeting with AberHealth this week in order to discuss. We were hoping that the contract with the state agency was a statewide contract. If that had been the case, that the winner is required to allow us to piggyback. There would be no discussion on it. However, this is just a single department for the state. It was not statewide. So they're not required. So then it does open a discussion of whether or not that they will allow us to piggyback. That conversation was to happen. It was difficult getting people in the same room during the holidays, but Jason felt that could have happened earlier this week. I'm following up with him on Friday to know and understand what those discussions were like. If we can do that, if not, we are prepared to go out to bid for those services.
Because I'm at my limit on that building over there. That building has to be shut down and gone. And so that is a priority.
The bid is currently set. Last time, right, it was a use our facility or use your own, right? Our facility is now out of there. That's not an option. They'll have to be able to propose their location and how it would work for our use.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Do we have a date for them to be out then, or not?
So the discussions on whether or not they're going to allow us to piggyback have held that up just a little bit. Because if they allow us to piggyback, then we're not held to a procurement schedule. we can just move forward with contracting, approve the piggyback, move forward with contracting, and they could be out in 30 days, 60 days, something like that, right? If we need to go through the procurement process, it's going to add some time to that. So my knowledge is that they have been notified, so as far as the contract goes, that clock has already been ticking. But as far as giving them a final date that they
Well,
will.
I feel like they abused our contract, and so we can kick them out anytime, in my opinion. When they're claiming that our facility is their facility and charging people less, no. That doesn't fly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
That's a pretty short list though, Shanna, just saying.
It is a new year, right?
Yeah.
I did have a conversation with the event center. I go, you know what we're not doing right now? We're not bidding out fireworks because we've already done that and we went out for a 3-year contract. And so it's nice to see the efficiencies of putting those things in place, that it's, one less thing that we've already got buttoned up and ready and they're already planning those events to go. So it's been nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Christie.
Okay, Christy Clauser, Comptroller. This is hopefully one of the last updates I need to do for the board on ARPA. My plan is to provide this update only as projects complete or as items we get change orders or costs change. But this spreadsheet now shows all funds have been obligated. In fact, we're $112,000 higher in obligations than we have funds, which is where we wanted to be, so that as projects come in potentially under budget, we have somewhere else to put the funds. Next week, my plan is to start the reporting process. I'm not sure how that's going to look because they had to change it with the requirement of every project being obligated with a contract. So I've got all of those contracts. Shanda did a great job of making sure we had all of those contracts before 12/31. In fact, I think she had them all done on 12/23, which was amazing. So this spreadsheet just has all of those items updated under the contract plus amount paid. One item I need to look at with the change order that happened with CM is their bill shows that we're going to pay them $1,085,000 and I've got a budget of $1,067,000. That's not going to be a problem because I'll just take money from somewhere else where we added a contingency. Also, spent to date is updated, so you can see what has been spent as of 12/30. And those are the numbers that I'll be reporting on the ARPA report as well. Again, on the back side is the exhibit hall. And the items that are highlighted in gray are the ones that have a contract. All other projects will most likely come out of PILT, just simply because in theory we won't have funds. I was able to, because Rocky Mountain Power, originally I had that, it was going to be paid out of PILT, but because they wanted the prepayment and we were able to pay that on 12/30, I threw that in as an ARPA fund. So I'm trying not to pay anything out of ARPA yet, or out of PILT yet, just simply because we want to get ARPA funds used.
Very much so.
So none of this should be a surprise other than everything is actually updated. The revised cost budget column is replaced with the contract plus amount paid column.
I can't remember, but the courthouse boilers, did we lock in that price and everything so that we're pretty comfortable with that?
Yes,
We did.
yes.
I thought we had, but I couldn't remember for sure.
On our next update, because I'm not using that revised cost and budget at the top section, I'll probably adjust my columns a little bit and maybe put a little bit more description on the right-hand side of maybe the vendor or something like that. If you have suggestions of something you'd like to see, let me know. Again, I probably won't, I don't see a need to do an update until some projects start getting completed. As projects get completed, I can do updates. Or I can do updates every, 4 to 6 weeks, whatever the board would like.
I just want to say thank you. Like I said, you and Shanda and Dan, I mean, we put a lot on your plates.
Add Nancy in that
And
because
Nancy.
she talked to both Shanda and I off the ledger.
We'll give Nancy some extra
And
chocolate
Nancy.
too.
And that's in the newsletter, that's one of the things that I talked about was how tough it is to spend money. the right way.
Correct.
And I think that with you guys, it was a great accomplishment for Bannock County.
A lot of strings attached that we had to make sure some practices were, or some I's were dotted and T's crossed,
Right.
and so.
So,
It's-
thank you very, very
Well
much.
well done.
I could do without having $17 million to spend again. If you have that,
With all
have that come in 6 years.
I wouldn't mind the money, but not all the strings.
Exactly.
That makes a big difference.
Anyways, any questions on the?
No, that was good, thank you.
Thank you very much.
And on that last one, Mr. Chair, I move that we approve the request to sign off on that City of Chubbuck building.
Oh,
We have a
Yeah.
motion? All in favor, say aye.
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 I kind of forgot that was underneath the signature on it. That's just for the budget levy workshop.
Yeah.
May 11th and 12th, if you guys.
Yeah.
We'll get you the county